Hey guys, it's PW and we're back out in the garage. John Tinberg, that's right, I said Tinberg. Turns out I was saying his name wrong all this time. I know the correct pronunciation now, so we won't make that mistake again. Well, anyway, he got a hold of us and he said we did a really good job setting our pinion angle. I'm really happy about that. Thanks for the feedback, John. But he also let me know that my plates for the springs, the spring plates, I have the shock bolt going forward. It's going to interfere with our ladder bar setup, so we're going to have to turn the plates and switch them from side to side and put them to the back. That's also going to lead to some more work that I want to go through with you guys, so why don't you stick around and check us out. Alright guys, let me bounce you around a little bit, bring you under the car and show you what we're contemplating and what we're about to get ready to start doing. Alright. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is I went ahead and I just ran a tack on our perch here and then all four corners. That's all, I mean, on both sides I did the same thing because that was the easiest spot to get to, and we'll have to get it welded out later on. But that's just so the pinion angle we don't lose. All right, and you guys can check that in the last video. I'll put a link up top for you to check it out, anybody that didn't see it. All right, so now that we've got that straightened out, these are what the plates, the spring plates that we're talking about that we're going to have. This one's going to end up on the other side and vice versa with the bolt pointing back. All right, because when we put this ladder bar setup in, we don't want the shock interfering with the ladder bar, so we need to do that. And that's going to lead to a little bit more work, not a big deal. But see my shock bar up there, right, going across right there? We're gonna have to cut that loose and move it back. All right, we're gonna have to move it to the other side of the arch. We're gonna have to take it from, let me see if I can get the camera up in there so you can take a look at it. All right, so here it is here, right? And we're gonna have to cut it loose and move it back here in this area. All right, and the way John described it, these tabs that hold the shock are going to be very close, not touching, but very close to the trunk pan. And it makes a lot of sense. All right, now our rear has this big brace on the back. I'll bring it back and show you. I think you guys already know that. It has this big brace on the back. I may need to put a little notch in there, like a nice little cutout notch for the shock. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to commit and say that's what I have to do until I get the plates turned around and put on the other side. And you guys know that right now the suspension's loaded up right now. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take it off the back race blocks. We're going to have to jack the car up, and we're going to have to put the car on jack stands on the frame back there, because we have to have the suspension hanging loose to switch these plates around. And we'll see how we do. We'll take our time doing it. I don't like fooling with the rear too much. It's really heavy and awkward by myself, but you know, I'm just getting ready. I'm setting up to do it. I was just scoping some stuff out. You can see up top there where the shock bar is. Luckily, I got this hose, which is plenty long enough. And I was looking at the lines that my buddy Kevin ran for me, and we got a lot of extra line right here that I could pull up. I don't think we're gonna have to do much. I'm gonna unbolt it and then I'll move the bar back, but I'll bet you there's enough line here to move it that few inches that we need to. All right, so I'm not overly concerned about that yet. I'm gonna have to get this fuel line out of my way, but it's not hooked up to anything yet anyway. It's just bolted in there. I'm just gonna have to unbolt it and move it out of the way. All right, so we got a bunch of work in front of us this week. We're working at that house, and I'm just gonna come out here about an hour or two every night and poke at it at this job, and we'll get it moved around, and we're gonna do it together. Don't worry, I'm gonna bring you along every step of the way. All right, guys, well, I decided to stay out and see what I could do real quick, and I took the car off the race blocks in the rear, and I got it sitting on jack stands at the back of the frame. Okay, you can see the jack stands way back here. The tires are about 3 inches off the ground, and the rear is unloaded. So I should be able to safely undo the bolts and switch those plates from side to side. All right, I'm gonna undo the first one and see how it goes, and then I'll bring you guys right back in. All right guys, I'll just bring you under and show you real quick how Simple it is. I just I got the plates off. The rear's just sitting on the springs now, guys. It's not anything else. It's just sitting there because we unloaded the suspension by putting the car on the jack stands back there on the frame. So as long as there's no weight on the rear or the car itself or the tires, and your rear sits on top of the springs, there's no problem doing that. All right, so now I'm just going to take this plate from the driver's side, move it to the passenger, and move the passenger side to the driver's side, and that will move our shock bolts to the back. All right, so just give me a second. It's just running a air gun. I'll be right back. All right, guys, well, we got the car back up on the race ramps here in the back. We got plenty of room. We turned these plates around, so I wanted to bring you over and show you real quick. All right, so we moved the plates. We switched the side so that the shock bolt is on the back side here, and you can see this is where John was talking about. I might have to just tilt them back just a hair like this, and I don't know if you can see up in there, but it's a little bit off the trunk pan. So in our next segment, probably tomorrow or the next night, I'm going to come out and I'm going to cut that shock bar loose, and I'm going to move it back, and we'll line that up and see where we're at. It looks like I may have to cut these little brackets that hold my brake lines. I'm going to have to cut those loose and probably move those forward a little bit to get things out of the way. But we'll see. It's real close with this bracket too. I may need to notch that bracket. No big deal. I'll just do like a little I'll cut a pipe in half and do a little moon in if I have to. But I want to see where I'm going to put the shock up real close, and we'll see if we got clearance or not. If we have clearance, great. But if we don't, no big deal. We're going to take this step by step, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it work out good. All right. I'm going to go in and get a shower, get washed up, but don't worry. Next steps to the job, I will come out here and film it, and you guys will be along every step of the way. But we got to do this before we put the ladder bars on. We got to get things right. Till next time. All right, guys. Well, it's the next day. It's about 9:45 at night. I got home from working on that house. I figured I'd come out and give the car at least an hour. Threw on some dirty clothes from yesterday because I'm climbing under here grinding and getting nasty anyway. So we got the shock bar almost out. I got about an inch on the top on each side I can't quite get to, but I figured I'll bring you in and show you. I have my Sawzall down at that house, and I need it to get that last inch. So just let me, I'm sorry I'm bouncing you a little bit, but I hope you guys can see that. Right, so that right there, I was grinding at it, and right at the very top, there's like an inch of weld, and it's the exact same thing on both sides where I can't quite get the angle of the grinder. Let me show you this side here, same problem. All right, but it'll come right off with a Sawzall. Put a nice blade in the Sawzall, zoop, zoop, at both sides, it'll come right down. I mean, we're talking like an inch, all right? Then we'll clean that up and paint it. I was getting greedy, you know, trying to get as much as I could, and I put a little tiny score right on my floor. And then I started to get upset. We don't want to get upset, so we stopped. All right, so we'll just get it with a Sawzall, and I'll fix this up. It's not even all the way through, but it's just enough to agitate me. So I'll fix it up, and we'll be all right. But that's where we're at. It's just gonna take about 5 minutes to move that bar. As you guys can see, I unhooked all the brackets for the brake line. I got the fuel line laying over there on the floor. It looks like we're gonna have enough brake line. Right now it's kind of hung up right there, but you look back there, I got about 6 inches to play with, and it looks like that's about where we're gonna end up. And worst case scenario, I'll just have to have my buddy build me a little union piece. We got a connection right there, so if we have to, we'll put a little union piece in, but I don't think we're gonna have to. I think there's just enough. All right, so we'll find out. But anyway, we'll have that shock bar down tomorrow, and we'll clean it up, we'll move it forward and tack it in. I may have to make a couple little plates, because from cutting it, I got about a 1/8 inch to a little less than 3/16 on both sides, but the frame does go in. We'll take a measurement. If we have to make little spacer plates and weld them on the pipe before we weld it on there, that's what we'll do. We'll do whatever we got to do to get it in there and get it in the right place. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys, show you where we're at, and we'll touch base again tomorrow. We're just gonna chip at this. We're gonna do a little bit every night. Like I said, I got a busy week, but I want to give a little bit to the car, even if it's only an hour a night for the week. And I bet you by the end of the week, we'll have a pretty cool video to show you guys. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Wednesday evening. It's about 10:30. We're back out here. We just got done texting with Gorney, the Big Block King. What's going on, brother? Anyway, we got this shock bar out, and it's really cool. I can't remember where I got it, but we can't use it. You see this design kick out in it? It's not going to work for this application because see these shock ends where the shocks go in? We're going to have to get these as close to the trunk pan as possible without touching. I'm saying within 3/16 of an inch, if not a hair closer, just as close as we can without touching. And unfortunately, this kick out bar hits the trunk pan and these are still too far away. So we're not going to be able to use the bar. We still might use these brackets because they're really cool. Let me show you them just real quick. They're shaped like a Z. You see them right here? Like got like a little kick here, then it goes across and a little kick here. And it looks like what they did is they probably put a benchmark, a straight scribe line on this, right? And then they probably just lined this end up to the benchmark and this line up to the benchmark and tacked it in. And it's on that perfect angle you would want it on if this was going straight across to catch the shock, which is really cool. So I'm either gonna make a set of these or I'm gonna cut these off and use these anyway, all right? But let me get you under the car and show you real quick what's going on. We were able to cut the bracket off that holds the brake on there, to the brake line on there too. It's just hanging right here, and I got it zip tied right here, just holding everything out of the way. But you can see, I cut the bar out up there. I gouged the top of that frame just a little bit. I'm gonna have to put like 2-3 welds up there, sand it smooth, and we'll be done. On this side here, I just got to take a little bit of weld off, sand it, and we'll be done. I wish I'd done that good on the passenger side, but nobody's perfect. We got it off. Anyway, so if you look at this factory hole right here, and you got one over there on this side of the frame, that's basically where we need that beam to be. And then those Z pieces are going to be really close to this trunk pan without touching. They're right there. I had to take this strap bracket off. We're running a fuel cell in the trunk anyway, so I had to take this one off because it was in the way, because that's right where the shock bracket's going to have to be. And I have a shock sitting here just to kind of show you. Let me put it on there real quick and show you what's going on. All right. Oh, I'm sorry guys. All right, so they got the shock on there, but it's going to be just about right like that, and I'm gonna have to like pull it back just a little bit when I put it on, just to kind of backload it a little bit. We still may need to notch this brace on the back of this rear. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to, but we'll see. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. It is what it is. We still may have to move these brackets as well for the brake lines too, because this hose is dangerously close too. So we're gonna have to do what we have to do. I mean, this video is gonna start getting a little long in the tooth, and then we might have to end it and start another one. But we have to get these shocks mounted back here on the back of the rear before we can put our ladder bars forward on the front of the rear, all right? So I just wanted to touch base with you guys, show you where we're at, and we're working towards the goal of getting on these ladder bars up front real soon. All right, so I hope that I hope to have this done this weekend. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be depending on if we can get the material or not. That getting a piece of beam, I don't know if the metal yards are open on the weekend or not. I'll have to stop down the home improvement store. They may have something, you know. I don't care if I have to use a piece of 1.25 inch or 1.5 inch pipe or square stock. Whatever I can get my hands on, we'll make it work. All right. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Friday afternoon. We had a couple hours before we go live, so I figured I'd come out here and see what I could get done on the car. Working on that shock bar we talked about in the last segment. Rather than cutting off the pieces from the bar, I figure I'll keep this bar intact. It's a little too short now, but I'll clean it up. Maybe I can trade it at a swap meet or something. But me and my buddy Bart, we bent a couple of these pieces using a torch. They're not quite as crisp, but we use the same theory. This is a 45 and a 45, and each end's at the center benchmark on this piece of steel box beam. Same thing here. All right, so it's really close. I measured in. It's about 6.5 to the center of the hole on both sides. should be pretty darn close. I just like this design because it's like it gussets itself, you know. There's a gusset here and a gusset here, and it's all one piece. So I feel like it's going to be pretty darn strong. So I'm going to go ahead and weld this up, and then I'll bring you guys back in, let you look at it, and then we'll get it up under the car and see if we can get it lined up. All right, give me a few minutes. All right, guys, well, we burned them in fairly quick. Figured I'll let you take a peek at it before I get under there and try to lay this out and see where we're going to actually have it setting under the car. But yeah, we do all right around here. It's not too bad. Yeah, pretty good. All right, we got it burned in all the way around. All right, so we're satisfied with that. All right, so let me get under the car. I'm gonna see if I got some big magnets here somewhere, and I'll try to get this thing laid up in there. It's kind of tight in some places, and you know, kind of loose on the frame in other places, because you know, the frame's not perfect. You know, it's got, you know, it's a little topsy-turvy. So give me a minute to get under there, and I'll get right back with you. All right, guys. Well, we got the bar in. It went all right. It looks all right. I'll bring you in and show you what's going on with it. All right. So we got it welded in both sides. All right. It's all welded in. All right. The top was a little challenging. I had to take apart my spare welding shield and just use this. And if you want to picture it, my head was right here looking that way, welding the driver's side, and then vice versa, welding the passenger side with nothing but this as a shield for my eyes. So that was a real treat. But we got it burned in. It looks good. Nice and level, huh? We squared it up as well, so it's cool. So you can see this is where our shock's gonna be. It's gonna go really good. It's gonna boop, go right up in there. We're as close to the trunk pan as we could possibly get. There's like an 1/8 inch gap in between this side and the trunk pan. So it's tight. That's as good as we're gonna get it. Now, a couple more challenges that we're gonna have to face now is these brake brackets right here. It's making the hose too close riding on the shock, so I'm gonna have to cut those loose and weld them to the top of the axle tube on both sides. It's even worse on this side, guys. It won't even let me get the shock on but 1/8 or 1/4 of the way, and it hits this right away. So we're gonna have to move this and maybe just tilt it this way, which is fine. We still aren't gonna have to disturb any of our brake lines because this is on this block that's just hooked up to our vent for the rear, so we'll be able to swivel that a little more turn when we get it up on there, and it should not disturb any of these lines. At least that's my hope. Anything goes awry, I'll have to get a hold of my buddy Kevin. But I don't suspect any problems. So there it is, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this bar up and be done with the bar. And our next challenges are going to be to move these brackets that are on the braces, and I may have to notch these spots where the shocks are in the rear brace. We'll see. It's real close. Once I get them on there and I look at it, if I got room, it doesn't look like I got enough room, so I'm planning on doing it. I'm just going to put a little indent with a half moon piece of pipe or something. All right. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it. I have to go in and get something to eat, and I'll see you guys in a little bit live. All right? You don't know that, but I do. See you tomorrow.